Did you know that nearly 70% of people in recovery from addiction report significant improvements in their sexual health, intimacy, and relationships? That's not just a random statistic, it's a powerful testament to the profound connection between addiction recovery and sexuality. When people think about overcoming addiction, they often focus on breaking free from harmful substances or behaviors. However, one of the most transformative yet overlooked aspects of recovery is its impact on sexual well-being and emotional intimacy. Addiction often distorts our relationship with ourselves and others, making healthy intimacy seem distant or unattainable. But what if I told you that healing from addiction could restore passion, rebuild confidence, and lead to more fulfilling relationships than ever before? In this video, we'll explore how overcoming addiction can unlock a healthier, more connected sexual life, one rooted in authenticity, trust, and emotional well-being. The link between addiction recovery and sexual health. When we talk about healing from addiction, we often think of it as a process of breaking free from physical dependence. However, addiction isn't just about substance abuse or compulsive behaviors, it affects every part of life, including our emotional, psychological, and sexual well-being. People struggling with addiction often experience distorted intimacy, compulsive sexual behaviors, or complete disconnection from their sexuality. Some may have used substances to enhance pleasure, while others relied on them to numb pain or suppress emotional trauma. For many, sex and intimacy become intertwined with addiction, leading to patterns of unhealthy relationships, risky behaviors, or even sexual dysfunction. Addiction can create a cycle of shame, secrecy, and avoidance, all of which deeply impact one's ability to connect with a partner. But here's the good news: when individuals commit to healing and self-discovery, they often find that their sexuality also transforms in positive ways. Instead of being driven by compulsion or fear, intimacy becomes a choice, one that is rooted in trust, confidence, and emotional connection. How addiction disrupts sexual health. Addiction profoundly disrupts sexual health by altering the brain's natural reward system, which is responsible for experiencing pleasure, intimacy, and connection. Substances like drugs and alcohol, as well as behavioral addictions such as gambling or pornography, rewire the brain to prioritize instant gratification over long-term emotional fulfillment. This neurological shift makes it increasingly difficult for individuals to experience authentic connection and satisfaction in their relationships. Instead of finding pleasure in genuine intimacy, the brain becomes dependent on external stimuli, leading to compulsive behaviors, reduced sensitivity to natural rewards, and, in many cases, physical dysfunction. One of the most common ways addiction impacts sexual health is through compulsive sexual behaviors. Many individuals in active addiction report an uncontrollable urge to seek out sexual experiences, whether through excessive pornography consumption, risky encounters, or infidelity. This behavior is not necessarily driven by a desire for connection but rather by the brain's demand for more dopamine, the chemical released during addictive behaviors. Over time, this cycle can erode the emotional foundation of relationships, creating distance between partners and making intimacy feel transactional rather than meaningful. Another major consequence of addiction is the decline in sexual function. Substances like alcohol, opioids, and stimulants can interfere with the body's ability to perform sexually, leading to erectile dysfunction in men, reduced libido in both men and women, and overall difficulty achieving pleasure. This is because these substances impact the central nervous system, slowing down or numbing the body's natural responses. Chronic substance abuse can also lead to hormonal imbalances, further reducing sexual desire and function. For some, the frustration and embarrassment caused by these issues lead to avoidance of intimacy altogether, further deepening emotional disconnection. Beyond the physical effects, addiction often carries significant psychological and emotional burdens that affect sexual health. Many individuals experience intense shame, guilt, or body image issues as a result of their addiction, which can make intimacy feel overwhelming or even undesirable. Some use sex as a form of escapism, attempting to mask their emotional pain rather than engaging in genuine connection. Others struggle with past traumas, whether caused by their addiction or pre-existing before it, which can make it difficult to establish trust and comfort in intimate relationships. Perhaps one of the most damaging aspects of addiction's impact on sexual health is the way it isolates individuals from both their own bodies and their partners. Addiction numbs natural sensations of pleasure and fulfillment, making it difficult to feel present during intimate moments. This detachment can lead to a cycle of seeking more extreme forms of stimulation to feel anything at all, further reinforcing the addiction. Additionally, addiction can amplify unhealthy sexual behaviors, leading to infidelity, unsafe encounters, and in some cases, sexual trauma that creates long-term psychological distress. However, despite the deep challenges that addiction brings to sexual health, healing is entirely possible. When an individual begins the recovery process, their brain starts to rewire itself, gradually restoring the ability to experience pleasure naturally. As substance dependence decreases, hormonal levels stabilize, and emotional clarity improves, many people find that their libido returns, sexual function improves, and they are able to form deeper, more fulfilling connections with their partners. Therapy, mindfulness, and healthy relationship-building techniques play crucial roles in repairing intimacy and trust. Addressing addiction doesn't just restore sexual health, it restores the ability to form authentic, meaningful relationships, free from the destructive grip of compulsive behaviors. How recovery rebuilds a healthy sense of sexuality. Healing from addiction is not just about quitting substances or breaking destructive habits, it's about rediscovering self-worth, rebuilding confidence, and learning how to experience intimacy in a meaningful and fulfilling way. Addiction often distorts one's perception of pleasure, intimacy, and connection, but recovery offers a powerful opportunity to restore these aspects of life in a healthy and balanced manner. 1. Restoring physical health and libido. Substance abuse can take a severe toll on the body, leading to hormonal imbalances, reduced testosterone or estrogen levels, nerve damage, and overall decreased libido. Many substances, including alcohol, opioids, and stimulants, disrupt the body's natural ability to regulate arousal and sexual function. However, once a person enters recovery, their body gradually detoxifies and begins to repair itself. As the nervous system stabilizes and hormones return to normal levels, many people experience a resurgence in sexual desire, improved stamina, and an overall boost in well-being. For example, studies show that men who stop excessive alcohol consumption often experience a dramatic improvement in erectile function and energy levels within months of sobriety. Women, too, often find that their hormonal cycles regulate, improving their overall sexual health in response to intimacy. 2. Breaking free from unhealthy sexual patterns. For many, addiction fuels self-destructive and compulsive sexual behaviors such as pornography addiction, infidelity, risky sexual encounters, or using sex as a means of validation. These behaviors are often driven by a cycle of instant gratification and emotional detachment rather than genuine connection. Recovery provides an opportunity to reset these patterns, allowing individuals to redefine their relationship with sexuality. Through therapy and self-awareness, they learn to separate compulsive urges from real emotional intimacy, leading to healthier and more fulfilling relationships built on trust, respect, and connection rather than addiction-driven impulses. 3. Healing emotional wounds and trauma. Addiction is often linked to past emotional wounds, including childhood trauma, sexual abuse, neglect, or deep-seated insecurities. Many individuals struggling with addiction use substances or compulsive behaviors to numb emotional pain or escape from difficult memories. However, these unresolved traumas often resurface in relationships, making it difficult to establish healthy intimacy. In recovery, individuals are encouraged to confront and process these wounds through therapy, support groups, and inner work. By addressing past trauma, people can let go of unhealthy coping mechanisms and open themselves to genuine, loving relationships free from the weight of their past. 4. Developing real emotional intimacy. Addiction often isolates individuals, creating walls of secrecy, shame, and emotional detachment. Many people in active addiction struggle to form deep connections because they use substances to numb emotions rather than face them. Recovery allows them to relearn essential skills like emotional vulnerability, active listening, and open communication. Instead of using substances or unhealthy behaviors to cope with feelings, they develop healthier ways to express love, affection, and emotional support in relationships. This transformation fosters deeper, more meaningful connections with partners and allows them to experience intimacy in its truest form, based on trust, presence, and genuine affection. 5. Rebuilding confidence and self-esteem. One of the most profound shifts in addiction recovery is the restoration of self-worth. Many individuals battling addiction feel immense shame, guilt, or a sense of unworthiness, which impacts their self-image and how they engage in relationships. However, as they progress in recovery, they begin to regain confidence in themselves, physically, emotionally, and mentally. They recognize their value beyond their past mistakes and start embracing a healthier, more positive self-perception. This newfound self-esteem directly influences their sexual health, as people who feel good about themselves are more likely to engage in respectful, fulfilling, and emotionally connected relationships. The journey to healthy sexuality and recovery. Recovery is not just about overcoming addiction, it's about reclaiming life, love, and connection. As individuals heal their bodies, break free from harmful patterns, and address past emotional wounds, they open the door to a more fulfilling and balanced sense of intimacy. They learn that sex is not just about physical pleasure but about emotional connection, self-respect, and genuine partnership. Through patience, self-discovery, and intentional healing, they find themselves capable of experiencing deeper, more meaningful relationships, ones built on love, trust, and true intimacy. A transformational success story. Let's take a real example. Sarah, a woman in her early 40s, had struggled with alcohol dependency for over a decade. During this time, she felt disconnected from her body, avoided intimacy with her husband, and experienced severe anxiety and self-doubt. After entering recovery, Sarah began to reclaim her sense of self-worth and reconnect with her emotions. She noticed that as her sobriety strengthened, so did her relationship with her husband and her own body. She learned to experience intimacy without fear or shame, and over time, she found that her sexual connection became deeper and more fulfilling than ever before. Sarah's story is not unique. Many people who heal from addiction find that their relationships, self-image, and sexual well-being improve dramatically. This isn't just about removing substances, it's about rediscovering what it means to be fully present and connected, both emotionally and physically. The power of healing and reconnection. Healing from addiction isn't just about breaking free from substances or behaviors, it's about reclaiming your sense of self, rebuilding confidence, and learning to experience intimacy in a healthy, fulfilling way. Recovery allows individuals to redefine their relationships with love, trust, and sexuality, not as a source of shame or pain, but as a powerful expression of emotional connection and well-being. If you or someone you know is on this journey, remember, healing is possible, and the rewards extend far beyond sobriety. By taking the steps to recover, you're not just transforming your life, you're also creating space for deeper, more meaningful relationships and a healthier sense of self. Your voice matters. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you know experienced a transformation in intimacy and self-confidence after addiction recovery? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like this video to support the channel, subscribe so you never miss powerful content on healing, relationships, and self-growth, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we upload new videos. Also, check out our next video on breaking free from toxic relationship patterns. It might be the next step in your journey toward a healthier, more fulfilling life. See you in the next one.